When we tackle obstacles, when we face adversity and conflict, it is only then that we find hidden reserves of courage and resilience we didn't even know we had. The future is hinged on your resiliency. So our wounds become wisdom because our perspective. We have a new program. It's called resiliency.
What can I accomplish in the rain? Who can I become in the rain? What can I build?
Under these conditions, resilience is based on compassion for ourselves as well as compassion for others.
So I need you to realize that there will be bad days. There will be times that you feel like you have no earthly idea what your teacher or professor is talking about. But what you will never ever do is throw a pity party. What you will never ever do is tap out. What you will never ever do is concede and throw in the towel.
And if everything you listen to goes over your head, you are going to miss your moment and stay living in the midst of the madness. The madness of impossibility, the lie. Somebody lied to you and told you that it was impossible. Because understanding the power and the difference between what is impossible and what is possible, it all comes back to your perspective and your capacity.
See, your life is one big sum average of the thoughts that you consistently hold in your mind. Your actions, your outcomes, your life is just one great mirror reflecting back to the world what you're thinking on the inside.
All of the pain, all of the trauma, everything you have experienced, the turbulence, you have to garner up all of that hunger. I'm talking about you got to think of everything you've ever wanted in your life, and you got to put it toward that goal. And there are things that you have been called to do that no one on earth has ever done. So I know what pain feels like. I know what disappointment looks like, and I don't like the look. I'm coming back for everything they told me I wanted. I'm going to show the world that whatever is broke can truly be fixed. I'm going to be greater and better than anything you've ever seen.
Make a commitment to pay the price for change. American dramatist and screenwriter Sidney Howard remarked, "One half of knowing what you want is knowing what you must give up before you get it." Change always costs you something, if not monetarily, then in time, energy, and creativity. In fact, if change doesn't cost you anything, then it isn't real change. As you consider how to make the changes needed to improve and grow, it is important to measure the cost of change compared to the cost of the status quo. You have to do your homework. That often makes the difference between change equals growth and change equals grief. What will the changes you desire really cost you? Management expert Tom Peters gives a perspective on this. He suggests, don't rock the boat, sink it, and start over. If you desire to be creative and do something really innovative, that's sometimes what it takes. You must destroy the old to create something new. You cannot allow yourself to be paralyzed by the idea of change. 4. Change must happen within you before it can happen around you. I love the Peanuts comic strip by Charles Schulz, in which Lucy says to Charlie Brown, "I would like to change the world." "Where would you start?" Charlie Brown asks her. Lucy's simple reply, "I would start with you." I hate to say it, but our attitude is probably a lot more like Lucy's than we would want to admit. If we don't like something, we desire change for everyone other than us. We are resistant to change. Novelist Frances Hodgson Burnett wrote, "At first people refuse to believe that a strange new thing can be done. And then they begin to hope it can be done. Then they see it can be done. Then it is done, and all the world wonders why it was not done centuries ago. Artist Andy Warhol observed, "They always say that time changes things, but you actually have to change them yourself." The truth is that any change that occurs in the world always begins first with change within an individual. That's why playwright George Bernard Shaw said, "Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything." The good news is that once you dedicate yourself to growth and develop a lifestyle of planned improvement from the inside out, it becomes normal to you. And you notice when you're not making the progress you have come to expect. It is said that pianist Arthur Rubinstein refused to listen to recordings made of songs he had played. Even only a few months after he completed them, he was dissatisfied with the playing he heard. Why? Because he had grown and changed, but the recordings had not.